Welcome everyone, friends and furs of all species. This is Daisy Hyena, and I'm here to talk to y'all about how I made my YouTube channel and how you can do it too. This is going to cover all the shit I went through to start my channel, and then at the end it's just gonna summarize what you would need to start your channel. I was going to make this video for my 1-year anniversary, but I was a little late. This vid took longer than I thought it would to make. So, the first part of this vid will be how I started YouTube. The end will be what I have learned and what I use today to make my vids. Now, I will put a timestamp if you want to skip the story part and just get how to I make videos. Anyway, let's get started. In order to start the story, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Now, fun fact, the story of how I started my channel, amongst my friends, I've always called it the "as luck would fuck me" saga. And the reason for this is because I've always had something going wrong, no matter how much I tried. And to keep this video from being 3 hours long, describing every little thing that went wrong, I'm just going to talk about the most relevant issues that happened and how I overcame them and what I did to fix them. Now, this all started back in 2016. Yeah, it took me quite a while. So, this is about the time when I first got Daisy my suit, and I was like, okay, I got a suit. You know what? I've always wanted to make a gaming channel. And I'll use my suit and we'll make a whole furry gaming channel. It'll be so much fun. So, when I got her, I was like, okay, what do you need for a gaming channel? Now, any channel, you'll have to know what you want to do. Like, a gaming channel's priorities as far as equipment and a vlogging channel are totally different. So, you'll have to think about what exactly you need and how much money you're willing to spend on which part to get the results you want. Now, what do you need for a gaming channel? Well, first things first, you need a computer, and a good computer, okay? And you're going to need a mic, a camera, which only if you want to have face cam. I know there's some channels that are gaming, but they don't use face cam, and that's okay. If you want to do it by yourself with no cam, that's fine. And then you need the software in order to do all of the editing and recording. So at first I just had a laptop, a cheap camera, and an even cheaper mic, because I thought, you know, I wasn't dedicated to the idea yet. So I didn't want to spend a ton of money on something that, you know, I'd get bored of and, you know, abandon within a month. So, yeah. And so I set all the shit up, and it was all cheap and stuff. I downloaded Audacity for my voice, and a screen recorder and video editor called Active Presenter. And I started to record Let's Play for Night in the Woods. Everything was going fine, I was having fun until it came time to edit. There was a problem that the face cam was going too fast, my vocals were going too slow, and the music and the video itself of the screen recording were lagging and jumping around. And I was confused. I didn't know what was happening. Before all this, I wasn't really the biggest tech-savvy person, so I couldn't understand. And so I was like, okay, maybe playing a game that, you know, you walk around and stuff is too much for my camera or the screen recorder to handle, so I'll do a visual novel, and, you know, that won't be as strenuous on the software. So I decided I was going to play a visual novel called llsh. And my dumb brain just thought, because it was the same problem. So my dumb brain was like, okay, it's the software. The software is having trouble with this. I need to find a software that is more suited for game recording. So I tried like 5 different ones, but the major ones I tried were Share Filmora, 3D 3Gear, and Microsoft Visual. All worked and they were pretty good, you know, give and take, except 3D 3Gear. Do not waste your money on that bullshit. But, oh, like, honestly, it wouldn't even record my screen. It was just black, and that was a waste of $30, and I was so pissed. So, they all had the same problem, that nothing was timing up. Even though I started it all within like a nanosecond of each other, I became like super fast at trying to start everything at the same time, just so I can, you know, figure out what was going on. When I was recording, I realized how shitty the camera's quality was, and it just, all of it started bumming me out. Out of nowhere, one night, a community college friend called me and they were like, "Hey, what's up? How you been doing?" And I was like, I had just gotten done trying to edit again, and it didn't work, so I told them what was going on. And they were like, "Okay, so what is your specs on your laptop?" And I had never thought of that. Like I said, I was not tech savvy at all when I started this. So I never even thought about my specs. And I told them all of the specs and started laughing. Like, I can't believe you can even write a paper on that computer. And I was like, damn. So, they actually used to have a channel. And they deleted it, or else I would shout it out for them, because they were super awesome to help me. So, they told me all the specs I needed. They said I needed a tower computer and not a laptop, and it needed to have an i7 processor and a 1060 GTX. And I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you so much." I was so excited. And after we got done talking, as soon as I hung up, I went to my computer and I searched for what I needed, and all that excitement evaporated because I saw the freaking price tags for this shit. However, I'd come that far, I wasn't going to let it stop me at that point. I was determined. So I decided to lower the specs slightly. Like, not enough to where it was like my laptop, but not enough to be $1,000, $2,000. I scoured eBay. I didn't care if I get used or any of that stuff, because it doesn't matter. As long as it works, I didn't care. But I found a brand new computer that was originally $1,200, but I was able to get it for $600 because it was the floor model. And it had a few dings, but nobody had used it. So I was like, hell, I'm willing to get a computer that's a little dinged up on the outside if it's going to mean that I get it for half off. Like, who wouldn't go for that? So I got a used monitor. It was one of those refurbished ones, and it was pretty decent. It wasn't that expensive or anything, or glamorous. And when it all came in the mail, I was so excited. It was better than Christmas morning. And I spent 2 days setting everything up. And, you know, getting all the personal little things out and all that stuff. Until the third day, when I was going to go to record, something happened. The monitor was making this very large sound no matter what I did, and then it eventually just stopped working. So I had come all that way, gotten all that shit, and boom, it was gone in an instant. I was so upset. But, you know, that weekend my mom came up to visit, and when we were at lunch, I told her that I was trying to get a monitor for my computer and stuff. Then I got a new computer. I did not tell her about my channel because, let's be honest, if y'all saw the content and all the jokes that I make, you wouldn't exactly want your mom to watch them either. So she was like, "Well, I have this old monitor in the garage that I don't use, and you can have it." I was like, "Oh my god, thank you. So I got it all set up, and I updated my microphone and updated the camera I got as well, because if it's static and bad quality, I didn't think that it would even matter. So I did spend a little more for the microphone and camera. So I set everything up, and I was going to record the intro to llsh again, because, you know, it seemed like a fun game, and furries, by the way. So, even though everything was no longer lagging and the audio or the screen, my face cam didn't match any of the other components. And so I was like, oh my god, why another freaking setback? So I started digging and digging on the computer, and I found out why. And this is absolute bullshit in my opinion. Like, this is the most biggest bullshit thing. Anyway, the reason is because the SD card was not as fast as it could be. Like, for some reason, even though everything is being recorded at the same time, if your SD card isn't advanced enough, it won't time up. So, that was some bullshit. So, I bought a new SD card, and it still happens, but only by a few seconds, rather than, you know, minutes. So, it's not a big deal. I just take care of it in editing. And finally, I was all set up and ready to go, and I got super nervous. I had done this like 1,000 times before, trying to figure out how to fix everything. But now that it was crunch time, I was like, oh my god, can I really do this? And I kept putting it off and putting it off, and then I realized that it was almost Thanksgiving break, and I was gonna spend the entire weekend with my family, and I wouldn't be able to do any of it, so I would just spend the entire week feeling shittier than I would if I had just gone ahead and done it. So I started recording, and I recorded for 3 days straight, which was all the episodes of Danganronpa episode 1 through 10. And a fun fact, during those 10 episodes, I had bronchitis. I did not even know I had it yet, but for like 2 weeks, I was coughing up a lung. It was like so bad. But like I just edited out all the parts where I legit had to stop and take breathing breaks and all of the insane coughing fits I had. But I had 10 episodes, they were all ready, and they were all done by December of 2018. But, you know, I wasn't sure whether I was gonna even post them or not. And that's when my bestie Joanna was like, bitch, you spend all that money and all that time trying to figure out how to do a fucking channel, and you're not gonna post it? And I was like, well, you right. And then she's like, yeah, and post it on Thursday because I have some of my favorite YouTubers posting on other days, and that way I can have something every day. And I was like, okay, fine. So, I posted my video March 28th, 2019, and I've been doing this bullshit ever since. For better or worse. Anyway, summary for all the people who didn't give a shit about the story and just want to know how to make vids, or at least how I make vids. Alright, this is the equipment I have. It's one of those Chinese average eBay cameras, an SD card with at least 95 megabytes per second, a Blue Yeti mic, which I got, again, a floor model that's all dinged up and like the whole nameplate is gone, but that doesn't matter because it works. And then here are the minimum specs for my computer tower right here. Then the software I use OBS for screen recording, which works amazing and it is totally free, which is automatically makes it the best. Audacity for the mic, which is also free, very user-friendly, and you can do a whole bunch of cool stuff. And then to edit my videos, I have Sony Vegas Movie Studio Platinum number 16, which is great, and it has thousands of tutorials on how to do all these effects. And then to encode my videos, which make them easier to upload, I use Handbrake, which be careful when you're downloading it or else you'll give your computer AIDS. I swear to God, you have to be super careful of that website. So anyway, that's how I make my vids. I just put all that shit together and ta-da! I got one of these. So anyway, okay, if you like what you see, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can see my content in the future. Also, if you have any questions for how to get started or just want to say hi, leave it down in the comment section below. I'm Daisy Hyena. I'll catch y'all in the next vid.